You think about his stance on not supporting Ukraine anymore?
I'm 100% with that. Why are we sending so much money to Ukraine when, like he said, we have some of the worst poverty here in this state? In this country, we have, millions of people who are below the poverty line, yet we're shipping our money overseas. It makes no sense.
I think that it may seem like it is in our best interest to have some involvement there, but at the same time, for me, though, it could feel a little hypocritical. Like when we, for example, our history, like in the Middle East and stuff, it almost feels like we're repeating the same mistakes in some ways.
That's probably the most important. As a vet, I was an Army captain, and I think that his foreign policy is spot on.
Could you elaborate more on that? Yeah.
I think that America, if you look at the Roman Empire and all that, we're far too spread out. We ask way too much of our soldiers, and maybe we need to. I was a Ron Paul supporter way back in the day because maybe we need to draw back in, worry about defense, and not worry about conquering all these countries or controlling all these other countries.
I think he's right. I think that the Ukraine war is definitely just something distracting from the issues here at home. We're spending way too much money, taking taxpayer money, sending it to Ukraine for a war that's doing no good for us. We need to spend that money here. We need to put that toward healthcare, education, the border crisis. All kinds of things are happening here, and nobody's looking toward that.
What's your response to Ukrainians who say, we were illegally invaded, we're being slaughtered by the Russians, and, that we need your help?
It would be fine if we had the resources to disperse, but when we can't even take care of our own people, how can we justify trying to save someone else?
What do you make of that argument?
They may. I'm not well versed on that, and they probably do. But what's that got? I don't want to be uncaring, but America should care, and we should help in that situation, but more in a a humanitarian way instead of encouraging war. I don't even think there would have been a war if it weren't for some of the American politics.
What should our response be, or what do you make of that argument from Ukrainians?
Totally valid, and I totally understand. And, not to excuse anything that has gone on there from Russia or anything like that. But, you can only help so much before you almost feel like you're involved in a war that you didn't intend to get involved in.
Absolutely. How would you respond to somebody who says we ought to support Ukraine because they were invaded by Russia?
We should support them because, that's a humanitarian crisis happening there. And I know Ukraine was thinking about, they had a minutes plan to join NATO and stuff. And so we need to help them with that. But I also disagree with the enlargement of NATO. So I think that maybe we need to pull back a little. It was good in the beginning when we helped, but we've way overdone what we should there. We need to pull back. We could give a little bit of aid, but we need to focus on things at home instead.